In Between the Sprockets is brought to you by ComCopy, the duplication specialists.
Oh, hi, welcome to Australia's most bent TV and video review show. I'm Robert Ellsworth and this is Sprockets, and we're not grave robbers from New South Wales.
No, he's Robert and I'm Madeleine Swain. Now, don't worry, don't adjust your TV set. The reason we're sitting here in black and white in this creepy cemetery is because tonight we're going to be looking at Tim Burton's new biopic, Ed Wood.
Oh, good. So we're just trying to recreate that tacky ambience his cheap films are known for.
That usually comes fairly naturally to us, doesn't it, Robert?
Uh-oh, I think that means that we forgot to pay the bills and we're not...
Yes, we've been locked out of the set again. Even Ed Wood knew that he had to pay your bills.
Anyway, we'll also be looking at his fabulous camp film, Plan 9 from Outer Space, in our video review section, unanimously voted the worst film of all time.
Well, that gives us hope, doesn't it? And we're also looking at Hal Hartley's latest film tonight, Amateur, and a new film by a director called Boaz Yakin called Fresh.
Yes, also, and we'll be bringing you back Naughty Bits, and if we can get it past the censors,
Don't call them censors, they'll pull our show again.
Oh, I'm sorry, the arbiters of good taste.
Maybe that's who was chasing us a few minutes ago.
I think so. Anyway, for those of you who asked for Jeff Stryker videos, I'm sorry, but our monitors are only 10 inches, so that kind of rules that one out.
I think so.
Anyway, stay tuned and don't touch that dial.
Hey, away with you!
Let's go down and find out whose grave it is.
Now, why do I always get hooked up with these spook details? Monsters, graves, bodies.
Cue flying saucer.
And cut. Print. We're moving on. That was perfect.
Perfect. Mr. Wood, do you know anything about the art of film production?
Well, I like to think so.
That cardboard headstone tipped over. This graveyard is obviously phony.
Nobody will ever notice that. Filmmaking is not about the tiny details. It's about the big picture.
Edward D. Wood Jr. has long been considered one of the worst directors of all time.
Hey, what about Penny Marshall?
She's not that bad. Big was very good, but I'd give my vote for the worst director of all time to me, Mel Gibson.
I would have never guessed. Anyway, the story is based on Rudolph Gray's Nightmare of Ecstasy, a wonderful book on Ed Wood, and it's about the world's schlock director of all time. Yeah.
Tim Burton vividly tells the story of the often underrated, not surprisingly so, outrageous visionary director with a penchant for women's clothing.
He was probably the only director in the history of film who showed up on his sets in Angora sweaters and women's pumps.
It would have been easy to mock, but Tim Burton wisely decides to delve into the method behind the madness.
Let's move immediately to scene 52. Tor, are you in place?
Yeah.
Great. Roll camera.
Rolling. Slate.
Cue rainstorm. And action, Tor. Okay. You're Lobo. You're upset. You've worked very hard helping Dr. Vornoff with this experiment. You don't want to see it fail. No, you're not that upset. You want to keep moving. You've got to get through that door. And cut. Perfect. Print it. Let's move on.
Don't you want to do another take, Ed? Looks like Big Baldy had a little trouble getting through the door.
No, it's fine. It's real. You know, in actuality, Lobo would have to struggle with that problem every day.
As Burton has said, there's something beautiful about somebody who does what they love to do no matter how misguided and remains optimistic and upbeat against all the odds.
Wow, that's pretty inspiring. Maybe he'll make a movie about our story.
Yes, maybe he will. But not only was Ed Wood a lover of drag, he was also a prolific pulp fiction writer with such highbrow titles as Raped in the Grass, Drag Trade, and the Bloodiest Sex Crimes of History.
He must have been one hell of a lover.
Ooh.
I've got something to say. Everybody, we're about to embark on quite a journey. 4 days of hard work. But when it's over, we'll have a picture that'll entertain, enlighten, and maybe even move millions of people.
Excuse me, Eddie, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm worried about the light.
Good thinking. All right, we'll talk about days 3 and 4 later. Let's get that first shot off. Scene 17, Glenda looking in the window. And action! Print that, let's move on.
Don't you want a second take for protection?
What's to protect? It was perfect. Come on. Hey! Cops! We don't have a permit. Run! Get this kid.
The film covers the apex of Ed Wood's, for want of a better word, apex, career from the time he meets the smack-addicted Bela Lugosi until the time he makes the god-awful Plan 9 from outer space.
The story tells the strange but touching relationship between these two misfits. Their friendship and collaboration were the golden days of Ed's career and the finer ones of Lugosi's.
The film features many idiosyncratic characters, but the screenwriters Scott Alexander and Larry, I can't say his last name,
Karaszewski.
they never belittle the characters, and that's what's so wonderful about this film.
Yeah, the situations are very amusing, but you always sympathize with the eccentrics. You laugh with them, not at them.
And the performances are definitely top-notch. Martin Landau deserved the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He had to endure hours of prosthetic makeup to capture that tortured face of Bela Lugosi. Everyone else is wonderful, and Johnny Depp is really a master of tone in this. He's one of the hottest actors in Hollywood today, I think.
There isn't a weak performance in the entire film. Bill Murray's Bunny Breckenridge was camper than a Boy Scouts jamboree, but I think the real person was probably like that. The women are equally good. Patricia Arquette is very touching as Ed's wife, Kathy, the woman who stuck by him throughout his long and torturous career.
What makes Ed Wood so fascinating is that he didn't realize how unbelievably bad he was. In fact, he often compared himself to Orson Welles.
Afraid not, Ed.
What plan will you follow now?
Plan 9.
Plan 9. Ah, yes, Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead. Long-distance electrodes shot into the pineal and pituitary glands of the recent dead.
You know, maybe you guys were right. Plan 9 is a good title. I want that lightning, I want those 2 explosions, and I've got to have more shots with the military.
Right.
And cut. All right, friends. Prepare for scene 32.
Mr. Wood?
Huh?
Where's the cockpit set?
You're standing in it. Places.
This film was so funny. It was hysterical. It had me rolling in the aisles.
Cinematographer Stefan Zapsky manages to recreate the crisp black and white imagery without losing any of the kitschy banality of Woods' work.
No, Burton captures it to every crappiest light detail. He recreates the cast and crew and the way they all look just like them, and especially Vampira. Could you get away with her?
And the stories surrounding his coterie are equally fascinating. Criswell, who was a famous psychic of the day, rarely predicted anything factual.
In fact, he was on The Tonight Show all the time, and all his predictions were wrong. Some of his most famous predictions were that in the 1980s, there would be an interplanetary meeting down in Las Vegas. I wonder if they all look like Elvis impersonators. And also there would be cities full of only homosexuals.
Well, that's not so far out. What about San Francisco and Geelong? Just kidding, Geelong people. Listen, I think this is a great film. It's an auteurs movie about an auteur, so I'll give it an auteur score, 8.5.
8.5? Well, I won't touch that one. But anyway, I give it a 10. It was unbelievably wonderful. It's the best thing Burton's ever done. What amazes me is that Touchstone let him get away with it. It's a highly entertaining, wonderfully episode film that you've got to go see. Run out and go see it. Put on your Angora sweaters.
And next up, Hal Hartley's latest film, Amateur, which is anything but.
Ooh, I want to go see that. Let's go.
Off you go.
Pulled from our last show, this erotic scene harks from a 1973 film based on a novella by Daphne du Maurier. Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie play a couple whose daughter has drowned. In order to get over the trauma, they go to Venice, where the husband thinks he sees the young girl dashing around in a red raincoat. This Nicholas Roeg film is moody, powerful and dazzling, one of the most carefully assembled enigmas to hit the screen. The picture is an impeccably plotted and realised gothic thriller with a truly horrifying ending. It also includes this sizzling scene, which was groundbreaking in its naturalistic depiction of eroticism. By no means simply a sex scene, it signifies a traumatized couple's attempt at rebuilding their shattered lives and marriage. Guess the name of the film yet? Yes, it's Don't Look Now, of course.
I've always been a big fan of Hal Hartley's. Not only are his films idiosyncratic, but they make you aware of the artifice of film itself.
In his new film, Amateur, he breaks out of his usual theatrical style, well, at least a little bit, and goes for something slightly more conventional.
Which is even unconventional for him. The story is about Isabelle, played by Isabelle Huppert. She's a sex-obsessed ex-nun who teams up with a amnesiac pornographer named Thomas, played by Martin Donovan, who's an alumni of most of Hal Hartley's films.
Then there's Sophia, played by Alina Lowensohn. She's the sweet porn star who also happens to be Thomas's ex, and she's also the woman who pushed him out of the window in the first place, causing him to lose his memory. You confused? Maybe this will help.
No good. What kind of money is this? What kind of money is this, Frank?
Dutch.
Are you Dutch?
I don't know. You sound like an American.
Where'd you get this Dutch money?
It was in my pocket.
Look, take your Dutch money and get out of here.
He's hurt.
What?
He's bleeding. Drink some water. Does it hurt?
Yes.
Do you know your name?
No.
Keep still.
Frank, he doesn't know his name.
Are you hungry?
Yes.
A sandwich, please.
Hey, look, Frank. She's got money.
Sophia gets hold of a computer disk that she thinks she'll be able to sell in order to get enough money to start a brand new life. Unfortunately, some ruthless hitmen are also keen to get their grubby paws on it.
Hal Hartley's idea of an action film blows the lid off the pseudo-seriousness of Quentin Tarantino. In fact, he takes the ubiquitous torture scene and really makes it electrifying.
Oh, excuse the pun. It's also much sexier than most of his films. Isabelle Huppert, once she stopped being a nun and wearing frumpy clothes, gets to clown around in a rather fetching little black number that she steals from Sophia's wardrobe.
I thought you stole it from your wardrobe. I've seen you traipsing around the set here with that thing on.
Nobody was watching.
I was.
Oh.
Anyway, Isabelle Huppert called up...
No, ditch the accent. We'll get firebomb.
Okay. Anyway, Isabelle wanted to work with Hartley so bad that she actually wrote him a letter after she saw the film Trust.
Which naturally bowled Hal over, and he got in touch with her, they met up, and then he went away and wrote the screenplay of Amateur with her in mind.
Hal had always been a Huppert fan. As he tells it, I was enthralled to get a letter like that from her. There is something about her face, her attitudes, and her reactions that fit quite well into the mode of a female lead.
Well, you don't know me. You don't even know my name.
We don't know your name either.
Have you ever had sex?
No.
How can you be a nymphomaniac and never had sex?
I'm choosy.
I need to shave.
Huppert is another one of those French actresses that, in eschewing facelifts and Vaseline on the lens, actually look more beautiful as they get older and acquire a few lines. They get more interesting. Catherine Deneuve did the same thing in Andershin. I know I always mention her, but I can't help it. And the other Isabelle Adjani, didn't, I'm afraid, in La Reine Margot.
Are you trying to say she's a hag?
No, just looking a little stretched, perhaps.
I didn't realize how funny she could be. And the scene when...
Isabelle?
Yeah, it's about
Hubert.
Hubert, of course. The scene where the Virgin Mary is supposed to have come down to her and told her that she has to help this porn star, it's pretty hysterical.
I must admit, I sometimes have something of a so what reaction to Hal Hartley's
So
films.
what?
Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's because I'm not quite as enamoured with old Martin Donovan's craggy features as Hal obviously is.
So what?
That's true, but this one has Isabelle Huppert in it. That makes it much, much more interesting for me, and I give it 7. I think it's his best movie to date.
So fucking what? No, that's the movie that we were supposed to review, but we didn't have a clip for it, so you should catch it.
Where's it screening?
It's screening in Melbourne at the George Cinema, and it stars...
No idea.
We don't know who it stars, but it's a good movie. Go see it. Anyway, I give this film that we're reviewing now a 9 because it's his best film yet. Coming up next, Sharon and Spiro get fresh.
10 bucks.
Get you 2 bottle holders.
That's good stuff, right?
You tried all the rest? Now try the best.
Are you sure? I mean, you know it for a fact, right?
But so you don't like it, you come back. Jake give you back your $10. Send you on your way. Just don't be coming back here again, understand what I'm saying?
12-year-old Fresh, brilliantly played by Sean Nelson, runs heroin for the neighbourhood dealers. We soon discover he's doing this in order to save some money so he can get out of the ghettos where he lives with his ghetto 11 cousins.
You want my king. You got to come get my king. All these other pieces are just a means to do it. Every time you make a good run at me, I just threaten your queen and back you go. You're treating her like she's the last lady on earth. Your queen is just a pawn with a lot of fancy moves, nothing more. When you see you playing a man who feels naked without his lady, use her. Jump in there and take her. Tease her, threaten her, and he won't be able to think about his game anymore. That's when you make your real move. It's good. It's better. You like that horse, don't you? You like his crazy jumps all over the board. Think he's your friend. You hate to lose him almost as much as you hate to lose that lady. Well, he is your friend, boy. They all are. But you're gonna have to use him just like you use the other. If he falls by the wayside, well, that's just life's little game, ain't it? And until you come ready to play a game, you'll never beat her at it.
Check. Check.
Fresh is different to most other ghetto kids. There's something very, very special about him.
But he does have an alcoholic father, played by Samuel L. Jackson, possibly one of the busiest actors in Hollywood at the moment. I mean, he's in everything.
And he also has an older sister that's a junkie. But Fresh dreams of one day getting out of all of this mess. For one thing, he's diligent at school. In one riveting scene, he actually stashes thousands of dollars worth of heroin in his locker so he won't be late for class.
Drop the bag, Chucky! No, put the gun down, man! Put it down, man! No!
Fresh is a riveting depiction of inner city life and the growing cesspool of urban pathology.
Director Boz Yakin's created a really great film. It's full of action, it's full of pathos.
I'm going to give it a 9, and I think it's much better than a lot of other films that have come out in that genre, like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society.
Well, coming up next, we've got the world's worst video.
Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space.
You can't get much worse than that, can you?
Well, it hasn't stopped us from trying now, has it?
No, it sure hasn't. Originally entitled Grave Robbers from Outer Space, the title had to be changed when the Baptist backers who gave him the money, don't ask, objected to the idea of grave robbers being anti-Christian.
But Jesus came back, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think he had a better press agent, and Cecil B. DeMille surely had a bigger budget than Ed Wood.
Unbelievably bad in every department. This is totally inept. You'll see better acting in Australia's funniest home video show.
But it's perversely exciting to watch. It's just so bad. You can't help but love the film. And the funniest story about it was that Bela Lugosi is starring in the film, and he only did 2 days of shooting, and then he died, probably of embarrassment, and so they had to replace him.
They replaced him with a chiropractor who looks absolutely nothing like the outfit account. So what Ed Wood did was cover him up in a big cloak and have him creep around the cemetery, covering his face. The threadbare plot has something to do with aliens attempting to raise human dead in their 9th attempt at world domination.
Too silly. The alien leader is played by an out-of-work drag queen who lists orders to these people in his cockpit, which is made up by a bunch of garbage and blenders and things he puts together from a trash heap. This contains some of the worst special effects ever seen. The night and day shots are randomly transposed over each other. It's ridiculous. And the special effects are like this. Paper plates used for flying saucers.
The sets are equally unimpressive. It looks as if it was shot in somebody's garage. The ruler of Earth sits in this rather nice patio furniture, which later turns up in his bedroom.
Ooh, ouch on the bum. And also the backdrops they use the same painted wall for a cemetery graveyard, somebody's living room, and a cockpit on an airplane in a 747.
And you thought this show was low budget. It's unbelievably badly directed, written, produced, and as one critic put it at the time, it looks as if it's been slung together by mortuary attendants.
They just don't make movies like that anymore. Luckily, they still make TV shows like this.
Hey, we haven't said much about the plot.
What plot? 3 aliens dressed in silk pajamas try to bring back the dead, which consists of a bunch of washed-up actors, so that they can take over the world.
Before we have another look at a clip, just let's say that the wonderful old Valhalla Cinema in Northcote, Melbourne are going to be showing Plan 9 from Outer Space, so rush there quickly. And they'll be giving away prizes to all those people who come dressed as their favourite characters.
Wow.
Hey, you'd make a good vampire. Well, that about wraps it up for tonight. Hopefully next week we'll be back on our set.
I hope so. I'm kind of miss Jerry the Giraffe.
And I kind of miss the heat. It's colder than a witch's what's it out here.
Oh, anyway, yeah, it sure is that. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robert Ellsworth.
And I'm Madeleine Swain.
We'll see
Good
you
night.
next week. I'm not laughing at that. I mean, I'm not screaming at that.
What is it?
I don't know. It's some Ed Wood.